I don't wish I came out younger. I feel like it all happened when it was meant to, because there was a lot of trauma in my childhood and in my home life, and I had enough to deal with. I wasn't ready. When I fell in love with a woman, it was the deepest connection that I had ever experienced. Mentally, emotionally, physically, I had never experienced that before. The love that I shared in the relationship that I was in with a man was for 8 years was very deep and very special, but it was different. When I fell in love with a woman, I realized the difference. I realized that it felt whole to me and complete and what I had been missing all my life. I had my very first lesbian relationship when I was in my 30s. And I remember it being just the most exciting thing I had ever experienced. We went to my first gay bar ever, and we went for square dancing night. And I walk in, and there's all these women dancing with each other. Can you imagine? And having fun. Smiling, laughing, being affectionate, being free. And I just kept staring like I was a kid at Disney World. Like I had never seen anything like this before. It was so surreal and felt like I had finally found myself. And even though I was uncomfortable with that idea for many, many, many years of my life, it still felt so good and exciting. And like it was a special little secret, in a way that no one else got to experience. And that's when the self-hatred came into play, and the judging and the crying of, why can't you stop feeling like this about women? And releasing all of that when I entered into this relationship I'm in was the ultimate orgasm. It really was. I mean, it just was the most amazing experience to finally submit to yourself. I felt like when I met DJ and fell in love with her that I had hit the jackpot. Because not only am I falling in love with this person, but they also have this beautiful child to bring into this dynamic as well. And I fell in love with two people simultaneously. And what a gift that was. I felt like I had finally found what I was supposed to be, which was a partner and a parent. It's like I felt like I got the golden ticket. I know that's silly, but it's what it felt like, like the unattainable. I had gotten it. And I can't imagine ever letting it go, ever letting anyone get in the way of that ever again, like I used to in the past, or letting myself get in my own way. I've always said to myself that I did not want to have a child until I had my shit sorted out. Well, over the years, I realized that you never have it all sorted out. And once you get that shit sorted out, a new load of shit piles on you. Your job is never done. There's so much in our brain space, it's incredible. There's like hallways in there, and you put things down as you're walking through them, and then you walk back through and you realize, oh, I forgot that was sitting there. What we shove down deep into the darkness of it, and then things we choose to bring to surface. My partner adopted our daughter when she was, I believe, 18 months old, and DJ, my partner, and her mother and another brother have all collectively been raising Addison. And Addison came into my life along with DJ when she was 4 years old. At the time, Addison was living in West Virginia. going back and forth between West Virginia and Atlanta to stay with DJ or to stay with the grandmother and the other brother. The plan was always to have Addison move here when she started kindergarten and everyone lived down here and raise her in Georgia. And then when that time started getting closer to happening, I came around and I was in DJ's life, and the family did not approve of our relationship, and they didn't want Addison to be raised in a gay home. They took Addison to church all the time, and that's the life that they wanted for Addison, which was very different from the life that she was going to have with myself and my partner. We ultimately ended up going through a custody situation for about 1.5 years, and there's a lot of denial from some of DJ's side of the family that it had nothing to do with us being gay. But we know that that's not true. We know that that was a part of it. And, you know, I mean, up until recently, comments are still made about, you know, that she needs a dad in her life. She needs a man in her life. Why? Why does she need that? Tell me your reason, other than because God made a man, God made a woman. What's your reason? And I can never get an answer. And so we won the custody hearing and have been raising Addison together for over 4 years now. Addison went from growing up in West Virginia, going to church, being taught to be a proper lady, all the things, to being thrown into the opposite end of the spectrum with 2 moms, essentially. And the way that she has handled it is something to be lived up to. I mean, she's so resilient for her age. She's an incredibly intelligent child. She has empathy. She's open. And I, in some ways, live vicariously through her, you know, like being allowed to be exposed to the real world. And she's so cool. She brags about having 2 moms, you know. Anytime anyone says anything negative, she holds her own and she challenges people who are different from her in a positive way. She is like, yeah, you're different from me and I'm different from you, and that's okay. You know, that's what makes this world so wonderful and special. I feel so lucky to have such a cool kid who gets it. You know, I mean, even herself, she's all over the place with her own identity. Some days she wants to be a boy. Some days she wants to be a girl. Some days she wants to cut her hair off or grow it out. And every day is different. And I think that's wonderful. You know, that's a part of you figuring it out. I am honored to be a part of that with her. I'm so grateful to have this experience, to be a parent with open eyes and raise a child with open eyes. If you raise a child in a cage and they start seeing that there's other things in the world, they're going to start charging towards it out of curiosity. To condemn them for doing that is wrong. You walk beside them and explain things and ask questions back. You know, allow them to form themselves. Don't dictate who they are going to be. And Addison, she's had a boyfriend already. Actually, she had a girlfriend first that she just loved this girl and thought she was so beautiful. And I was like, oh, okay. And of course, DJ was thrilled to pieces because DJ wants her to be gay. And then the next year, she had a boyfriend, and that was last year. And that's still going strong, apparently, though I don't know how when you never talk or see each other. I think it's wonderful. She can do whatever she wants. Just pick good people. I certainly hope that she stays true to herself. I think she's going to do great things and be a force. She wants to study volcanoes. So I said, I completely support this, but you have to take me to one day. I do think if we were to move outside of Atlanta, her experience would be a lot different. She's gotten teased a couple of times at school, not about us, but people have called her gay and meaning it in a derogatory way. And she'll come home and repeat it, and we're like, no, wait a minute. How are you meaning that word? Like, how is it said to you? And she'll explain it, and I try to break it down to her in a way that she can understand. That when someone says it in that way, it's hate. They're meaning it to be mean, to be hateful, and you need to stop it in its tracks. Addison doesn't get harassed here because we're living in this bubble, of this safety bubble. Like, why is that fair? Why should I have to worry about that for my 9-year-old just because I'm different from you? And how is that love? And Christianity, people choose to hide behind religion and use Bibles as a weapon and a way to judge and rise above other people, make themselves feel greater and grander. Which again goes against the whole system of religion, right? Love thy neighbor. It doesn't say unless, it just says love thy neighbor. It's in your Bible. I didn't write those words. I don't know who wrote those words. Lots of white dudes. At the end of the day, it's all love, and love is universal. I don't know how anyone can argue that.